Thank you.
Today, this is the meeting of the Camp Kiwanee Commission on. Let me go through here. No, I'm sorry, December 19th at 6:06 p.m. Okay, and we have the first order of business, which is the approval of minutes from November 21st, 2022. Does anybody get a chance to look them over? I did today before I got here. No? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even go through attendance. So, all those in attendance is Frank Malisi.
Melissa Scartesi.
Sheila Morse.
Caroline Mills.
And then we have in the audience, we have Roger Means, we have Jen, we have Jack, and then, I'm sorry,
Mr. Coyle.
Mr. Coyle, thank you. Okay, awesome. So, so approval of the minutes from November 21st, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Melissa. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sheila. Okay, all those in favor, Franks and I. Melissa?
Aye.
Sheila?
Aye.
Caroline?
Aye.
Awesome, thank you. Let's go over here to the other one that we have here. Okay, approval for the 6/4/2022 Hanson Rod and Gun Club approval for the fishing derby from 9 to 11 a.m. No use of the lodge. I think they don't technically need to. I mean, I think they're just using the pond over there. So.
Yeah, they just use the wall.
Yeah.
They fish off the wall, right?
Yeah. So, is there any questions or discussion about that? No. I'm actually kind of excited at the back here because they stopped doing that for a couple of years too.
I know.
Yeah.
I reached out to ask if we could get it going again, and no one got back to me. So I'm glad
Oh,
they
good.
have taken initiative.
Yeah, I think this is Father's Day weekend too, isn't it? Don't they usually do it on Father's Day weekend?
I think usually it's a little later.
I think
June,
Father's
Yeah,
Day's a
that's
little
a little
early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. If there's no discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Hanson Rod and Gun Club Fishing Derby on June 4th, that should be 2023 actually, not 2022.
Right.
So let me go fix that. 2023.
Motion to approve the Hanson Rod and Club fishing derby.
Awesome. Motion by Melissa. Sorry, Melissa. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sheila. All those in favor, Franks and I. Melissa?
Aye.
Sheila?
Aye.
Caroline?
Aye.
Awesome. Okay, and then accept the props from Stalewart Productions, particularly pyrotechnics in the Frontier Cabin for filming on January 3rd, 2023. So I went to the Board of Selectmen meeting when the company, Stalewart Productions is their pyrotechnic kind of prop company, but this is the same. We're not just letting pyrotechnics over there.
Mm-hmm.
From the Board of Selectmen, the fire chief was there, or the deputy chief was there, and he had no concerns with it. They went through the whole process and everything like that. So this is more of just a kind of an approval for it. The Board of Selectmen approved it with no issues. So, is there any discussion on that?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept the props of Stalewart Productions for the filming in the Frontier Cabin on January 3rd, 2023. Do I have a motion?
1 second.
Yep.
The date, it could fluctuate. They're coming back on January 3rd from vacation, and they'll give us an exact date at that time. It's around the 17th possibly, when it's actually going to take place.
Okay, so I'll revise the motion, I'll entertain a motion to accept the props of Steelwork production at the Frontier Cabin filming for the month of January, whenever they decide to use the Frontier Cabin for their filming.
Second.
Second? Okay, all those in favor, Franks and I. Melissa?
Aye.
Sheila?
Aye.
Caroline?
Aye.
Awesome. We'll get through this pretty fast. This is interesting. Okay, so the next discussion is the budget. So the fiscal 24 budget has to be set in place for what we want for the fiscal year 24. They just said that. So the budget is printed in there. This is the current usage date from what we have on December 13th. So if everybody just wants to take a minute to kind of go over it, see if there's anything that doesn't make sense, we can try to revise some numbers if we want to. We haven't gotten the retained earnings that we'll be able to bring over for fiscal year 24 yet. So, we can keep it the same that it is right now. We can revise numbers if we want to. We can set it up so we have, a different line item for, like camp staff or cove staff or things like that. So.
So right now, what is it? Unaccumulated balance.
Yeah, so I'll kind of explain what's going on. So the original budget line that you see there, so there's the carryover forward line, which is money that we didn't use last year that got carried over in the fiscal year 23. The original budget item is the original budget that we set for in May. And the amended is the retained earnings transfer that we did in November. So you'll see that the total expended budget is obviously what we've spent so far, and the unencumbered balance is the one that we haven't spent so far.
Okay.
So we're actually in really good position. We're actually in a really good position for next year because we've only spent 40% of our budget, and we've already went through the majority of this wedding season,
Right.
which usually is where we spend a lot of our camp money on is the wedding season. I mean, obviously we have a little bit of room to play with, but that doesn't mean we should just go spending
Yeah.
money like crazy. So we have, like, for example, the ventilation of the kitchen. We have $781 left over from that after a carryover of the 2160. So I'm not sure if that's going to be used this year or not for any more ventilation stuff that we have for the kitchen. Do we have anything?
The ventilation is done.
Okay.
Yeah, there shouldn't be anything else on the ventilation.
Okay. So we have $781 for the ventilation. For the $781 for the ventilation stuff. I'm not sure if there's like a.
Can that be used for anything else?
That's a good question. It was a town meeting article, so it would have to go to the town meeting article and be pretty specific. So maybe we should just explore options to either give that $781 back to the town because we don't need it anymore, or maybe we can do it in our retained earnings. I'm not sure. But if we're not going to use it, then I just don't want it sitting there as a
Let's hold on. I want to check on something.
Okay.
I've been asked to paint the ductwork that's up on the roof. Maybe we can get somebody professional that can paint that type of material in the exterior rather than just slapping paint on and having to peel off.
Paint the sheet metal.
The sheet metal up on the roof.
Okay. Okay.
Something for us to hold on to and look into at a future time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, if you want to, it's not immediate, but if that's something that you want to explore, just get a quote for it and send it over, and maybe we can use it for that.
Okay.
And I think I've never seen painted sheet metal like that, but I don't know. Never seen it.
Is that the
No.
same?
I'm curious, why? Why do they want it painted?
Yeah, what does
Make
it
it
do?
blend in better.
Yeah, blended. I mean,
So it's just for looks.
it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense though because green roof. You would kind of want it, but it has to be like a very particular type of paint because I imagine it's going to get pretty hot up there too.
Right, that's
Yes.
going to adhere to galvanized and the heat.
Yeah,
Correct.
it has to be like one of those. I'm not sure if it's like I'm trying to look for the word. It's like not electrostatics paint, but it's like a
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
kind of stuff that they put on cars essentially, or like
Well,
engine
say
blocks.
like
and
my boyfriend
things like
every year, he takes the wood stove out behind the house and he like scrubs it and he cleans it and he repaints
Yeah,
it.
it had
That kind of paint.
Yeah, it'd be that, but it'd be obviously green and like for that particular type of metal.
Oh,
Just
no,
cast that.
black.
No, well,
They actually
you
put
could
an
do black too, I guess, if you
electric
wanted
charge
to.
the metal
Yeah.
Right,
while they paint it.
for galvanized, yeah.
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 Okay.
It's like old cars. Like if you ever had like a muscle car or something like that, like my stepfather's doing a car right now, and they electric charge it, and then because it hits the metal better. That's the noise that it makes. I don't know.
That was really technical.
That was extremely technical. That's what I'm here for. Is the technical.
Put that in the report.
Yeah, technical analysis of what's going on. Anyway, so we have the lodge rewiring and the security
I
for
was going to ask that. So there's a balance there too. Is that just money that we haven't used yet, or is that going to sit there?
$5,640. I mean, the lodge rewiring. That's a pretty broad town meeting article, so we kind of use that for any electrical thing that comes up.
Okay.
So $5,600 is great. That was also a town meeting article from May town meeting in 2020, I believe. Prior year's bills $43, then indirect costs, which is insurance and so on like that for the $23,000. Does anybody have any questions about the budget? So far, we're using 49% of our budget, which is, like I said, that's a pretty good. We're on track to do not all of it, so we should have a good carry forward balance for next year, hopefully. Unless somebody decides to buy a Lamborghini. So, do we have any revisions to the budget? Anybody want to make numbers different? Or we just kind of want to keep it where it is?
Nothing really stuck out
No?
to me, to be honest with you.
No? Okay.
You know, that expertise.
So one of the other things too is we have the special events budget that's here as well, right? So we have the special events, we have $2,000 in. I'm gonna have to figure out what did we expend that money on though?
Oh, there's a balance there.
Yeah, what did we expend that money on? $1,200. We didn't spend $1,200 in special events. Kind of curious. Maybe that was like we put that in for buying stuff for the weddings. Maybe I'm gonna have to talk to Dory about that. Let's see what that issue is. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
And then, so the Cove expenses as well, we had 8,500 listed for that. So I'm not sure if that's,
Where's that?
the Cove is, it's the bottom one, right below the insurance, property and liability.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, we don't have to set it in stone right now, but just everybody be aware of this, because next meeting that we have, we're gonna be,
Yeah.
like, we can set these numbers more appropriately. But we're in pretty good shape for the fiscal year 24. So, okay. So the next one is discussion on retaining the security deposit for 12/11/2022 Christmas party. Did Dory give you information, or she want me to talk about this?
She did not give me any.
Okay.
You can talk.
Okay. So there was a Christmas party on the 11th, and the kids were taking the ornaments off the tree out there and smashing them against the wall over on the other side of the bathroom. And then, was there other damage as well, or was it just the ornaments?
It was just the ornaments.
Just the
I was
ornaments.
sitting over here in the nook by the kitchen door.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and a guest came over to me and said, "You have a problem. You have kids taking these glass ornaments, and they are literally throwing them down the hallway." And they were. Just as I came around the corner, I could hear some smash.
Okay, yeah. So the it's just to figure out if we want to retain their, I believe it's a $200 security deposit from that event, because they were smashing the ornaments over there and causing damage to the wall.
Absolutely.
So yeah, okay.
It's property, yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to retain the security deposit from the 12/11/2022 Christmas party for the destroyed Christmas tree ornaments.
Second, whatever.
No, yeah, motion. Okay.
Yeah.
So Melissa made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Sheila. Okay, all those in favor, Frank's and I. Melissa?
Aye.
Sheila?
Aye.
Caroline?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, now it's off to Sheila and Caroline for the 2023 discussion for Cranberry Cove.
This is just estimate. Oh no, it's just completely estimated. I don't know if you guys want to look. But it just gives you an idea of like how many people we need to hire, how much around it would cost to get it up and running.
Okay.
I think I'm a little off on the hours and we can talk and some
hours
so we can definitely anything can be changed. But
Even if the hours change, does the rate at the weekly payout stay?
so I wasn't sure. I kind of just guessed on a lot of things. So the beach director, I had him for 20 hours per week. I wasn't sure if that's typically. I haven't been here in the past, so.
So when I did it the first round, or actually the third round of my life, they had started me off asking me to do 5 hours a week,
Mhm.
and then quickly after the first couple of weeks, it went up because you have to do the lessons and the staffing. So I mean, I would say it would need to be probably somewhere between 25 and 30. If you want them there.
That was the other thing,
shifts.
like that. I meant to print off the job description, and there were definitely things that were I questioned on the job description as far as like cleaning the bathroom or like things like that. It seemed like a lot for one person to do. It went from like cleaning the bathroom to staffing to scheduling, blah blah blah.
All in the beach director?
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely think we should look at that
Look at
job
that.
description
Okay.
that's posted on the town website.
Okay.
And kind of tighten it up. And then I wasn't, it could be anywhere. I think it said anywhere between the 15.50 to 20 per hour. So I just based the numbers off 17.
Yeah, so the water safety instructors, because they're highly qualified, sorry if I'm speaking out of turn.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
They have to get most of them would have a lifeguarding and a water safety training.
Mhm.
So, and they're going right would not be, starting
Yeah.
at 15.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking probably closer to
gatekeeper,
20 for
yeah,
that.
for sure. And then the lifeguards, you could probably start them at that, depending on their experience.
Well, we just
I think.
increased the rate that was approved, right?
We
Yeah.
did, but even if we change, so if we go from 15.50, I haven't done any math on this obviously, but if we go from 15.50 to 20, it's going to increase that number for the 10 weeks sizably. Like it's going to be a pretty sizable increase. I'd gander if we did like the beach director, at 25 hours at $20 an hour, and then we did the lifeguards at $20 an hour, because I don't think we're going to get anybody 15.50.
No.
And maybe the water safety instructors and the lifeguards can be the same people.
So more than likely they will be.
Okay.
So that would be the older kids. They have to be 18 plus to do the lessons. To become an instructor, And what they would do is they would come here in the morning, they would do the lessons, and depending on a lot of them, like, were at Whitman, and sometimes they might have been at Pembroke too, so they would do lessons in the morning, and maybe they would work until 3 o'clock for us, and then they go somewhere else, so, and then that would like a split, schedule. Sometimes they would ask to say, can I just do one long day, so they would do like from 8, to set to closing, things like that, and then generally speaking, there's always been like 3 or 4 water safety instructors / lifeguards.
Okay.
And then you sort of needed 2 younger staff to sort of pick up those extra hours that flex time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so okay, so you guys are saying that we would, for this rate we need to sell. I'm sorry.
For this rate, it's just approximately. I just wanted to kind of I just learned through
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
seeing
fine.
things. So like half of the expense could, like, you'd have to approximately sell 90 family passes to cover half at these prices.
But that doesn't include the daily passes. So we would
No,
sell daily.
definitely not.
That would
Yeah,
be
it doesn't
supplemented
include
by
daily.
daily
It doesn't
passes.
include the swim. Like I don't
Right,
know how
swim
much swim
lessons.
lessons
Right.
are.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I have those. Well,
How many kids we would get opening it up. Like I do think we're probably gonna not get as many up front. Like the first year we start this.
What, for like swim lessons?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think yeah. Sorry, 1 second, Margaret. I think that the swim lessons would. I mean, every single summer, everybody always complains about there not being swim lessons.
Okay.
Whether that translate over to like people actually doing it,
Yeah.
I mean, is one thing. But like
Yeah.
I've seen, from my age group of where my kids are, there's a lot of demand for swim lessons. But you can go ahead, Margaret.
So I coach professionally, and Kingsbury Club right now is huge, booming. Parent-child swim lessons, so that's like the 1 and under is doing the lessons that way. And right now, like they don't have enough staff to do the preschool age, so that's like the 1 to 3 to 4 age group, which is not necessarily like the Red Cross swimming lessons. That's like a pre-water skills, so that's like a different thing. And then the levels 1 through 6 are, more like elementary age kids and that kind of stuff. So right now, and at the Y, I swim in the Y on Saturday mornings. And during the week they have lessons at 7 a.m. during the week.
Jeez.
For like kids that are like I'm on and then on Saturday morning they are loaded. For loaded. So I go from my practice to the Hanover practice to Y to swim myself. And they're loaded, and especially that younger crew is huge. That parent involvement thing, but I don't know what it is, but
It's the mommy and me thing. Yeah.
and it's also that preschool.
I did it with my daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the preschool thing. It's like huge right now too. Like they just and that's an issue. Then you're gonna grow those kids, right? They're gonna want to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. But that's where I see the focus of getting more people in. And then again, getting into the 21st century using Sign Up Genius and things like that to try to get people.
Eventbrite and stuff. Like we have access to use Eventbrite now, so like
to sign up and say, okay, you can have six swimmers per lesson, and then first come first serve, and then people are going to want to do that, and then the link to the application is on the website. They sign up and do their little, do their check. I think it's not letting me here get access to my my document, but I think that's just switched it
Yeah,
over.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. Well, I mean, we'll see what the sign up. I think the issue is going to be hiring people. How it's going to.
Yeah, so I have
I mean, we've posted the care. I don't even think we've gotten the caretaker applications. So it's.
I have the
You
the lifeguard train the trainer guy
Mhm.
who can last year he trained
Mhm.
2 kids that I thought I was going to have for my camp.
Mhm.
They were willing to go.
Did you guys talk about how many lifeguards and how many instructors we're going to need?
So like I put down 3 because I think we said like 3
Oh,
to
okay.
5 in our notes. So I
Yeah.
just took down at least like 3 water safety
Yeah.
instructors because I asked Margaret like how many groups are going on at the same time. They're every 30 minutes, 3 groups at the same time. So you need at least 3 water safety instructors, and then we were thinking for 3 gatekeepers because
they're younger and they rotate.
they'd have like shifts.
Yeah.
And then 1 beach instructor and 3 lifeguards. But the lifeguards, like you said, can definitely be younger. They just need the lifeguard
Right, and then the lifeguards
certification.
can help be helper teachers, you know, they can be, you know, so that's something else that we can, you know, if they're 16 plus, they can.
So you can have 16-year-olds be lifeguards?
16-year-olds can be lifeguards. They technically can be at 15 for private pools, but the state regulations is they have to be 16.
Okay.
So 16 is our Massachusetts law.
I mean, I think as just an exercise, we should probably change these rates to
Yeah.
be a minimum of $20 an hour, and see what the numbers come out to be with that. Just because that would kind of be the worst case scenario that we would have, right? I mean, I don't think we pay a gatekeeper $20 an hour, but if we budget in for it, then it kind of be a better cushion. And then also, like, if we had a 16-year-old lifeguard that only has a year of experience lifeguarding, like, we can pay them $16, $17 an hour.
So the job descriptions that are online now does give like a 16 to 19, and then it says will be determined based on experience level.
Yeah, that's good. So that's perfect. But I mean, I think if we just base in the price of $20 an hour for everybody, including the beach director should actually probably be, you know, I would kind of base that off of $25 an hour, you know, just because we have that range there, and make it kind of the worst case scenario. You know, if we had all those. I mean, this kind of goes back to the budget discussion that we just had too. Like, you know, if we wanted to add, if we wanted to think about, you know, it will cost us $30,000 to run this program. If we sell only 90 passes, we can work that $30,000 into our budget. I'm almost positive we have the retained earnings for it, that we could do it. I just don't have those numbers yet. And conveniently enough, the AMC TV show that's coming here is $30,000, around $30,000 what they're going to be paying us. So that could kind of wash the whole program and do it like that. So I think we'll have the money for it to spread for it, you know.
Yeah, and I do think that obviously the swimming lessons will help make up for that, and doing like the parent-child and increasing like and that normally isn't a everyday sort of thing, and doing that like Tuesday, Thursdays one group, Monday, Wednesdays another group, and then I also going to throw in there, I really think if you can add in a Saturday at like 11 for 1 hour, you have two groups go through, and just, you know, the beach is being used, it's, you know, and then 12 o'clock it opens up. So whoever that chief instructor is, you know, you have an older staff member there.
Yep.
And then, I mean, because again, from what I'm seeing, people are like that sad. I was shocked at 7 a.m. kids coming to swimming lessons.
So is there any concern about having those super young kids learning to swim in the pond, or is it not? No, like you guys have done that in the past.
I've done it since I was 16.
Okay,
so
no, awesome.
We've always done every, you know, age group. The parent, you know, the hard sell is getting the younger staff to try to get into the preschool kind of thing. Like they have to, like I had to actually get in there and show them how to just have fun. It's all water exploration.
Yeah.
You do have to buy like little duckies and balls and all the, you know, and it's not a lot of stuff, but they need some gimmicks, you know, to do that kind of stuff. But that's the sell. But I also think if you try to reach out to Bridgewater State College and look for PE majors and early childhood education, and we send out something to Bridgewater State. This is what we're looking for, which, you know, and again, if they can get between 30 and 40 hours a week doing that at one place, they don't have to go, you know, and then.
The other question I brought up at the last meeting, because I didn't know what happened in the past, but apparently that the cove is not open to the public while the swim lessons are going on.
Never has been.
Okay.
Never.
So I know that was a question mark.
Yeah, I mean, on like occasionally with the super hot days, you know, we let them in earlier, and there'd be like, if it was like 3 days of 95 degrees or something like that, like there'd be like an emergency thing. But no, because you need a separate lifeguard, and all those, and especially the way the cove is set up now, all that space would be needed for the lessons. Like you couldn't do the two.
Okay. So if we sold passes, we just have to make abundantly clear that those passes are only being able to be used by between 11 and 7. When we don't.
Well, it depends on if you want the lessons to stop at 11, that's fine. If you want to do like, I think those parent-child classes can fill a nook. The cove has never been open before 12 o'clock for the public, ever. It's always been 12 to 7 or 12, but, you know, back in the ancient days, it used to be like 8 whenever dusk was. They had swim team in the parent-child classes the last round from 11 to 12. Okay. So it didn't, and again, that's the, you go look 3, I think it was 3 rounds ago, I went and looked at the schedule. because I still have all those documents at home.
Okay. No, I mean that's good. I think we actually have the budget to do it, and if we can supplement it with the swim lessons, that'd be awesome. If only we can find a qualified beach director to assist us with that. Yeah, we have a lot of things to fill, but that'd probably be the most important one. Did you guys have any ideas on how to actually sell those passes?
So,
I'm not the
Go ahead.
person.
so we've always had a Cranberry Cove kickoff.
Yeah.
Where again, you had, it was like the second week in June, so it was people getting ready to do their things and just have an open house, not ice cream. The crushed ice thing, what do you call that? Snow cones and things like that, and balloons, and then we had ducky races and all that kind of stuff. But I do think you're gonna have to start selling, like doing, if I don't know, whatever they got, the sign up thing.
Yeah, I was
sign up
thinking more of
juice
the
and-
avenue of like controlling passes, right? So like, I brought up the idea of like the dump sticker, right? To have
So
like a
there's a
family
template.
pass. Okay.
So there's a template with, you should have it here somewhere, and we laminated them.
Yeah.
And the family name goes on the back and who the family members are.
Okay.
Go
Is that so? I guess I'm wondering if that's the most convenient way of doing it, like straightforward way of doing it, right? Like I could see that, I can't imagine it's like if you pay for a carload of people to come in, right? Like you just see that they have a sticker there, right? Like I just feel like, if the gatekeeper was there and be like, okay, where's your pass? And you have to do this and you have to compare it with another one that's over here, right? It'd just be easy to say, okay, here's your sticker that you have in your car. You can kind of like how they do it at like Duxbury Beach, right?
Right.
Not that I've ever been there. I can't afford to go there, but it's one of those places they just see your sticker and then they go
But we
in.
used to have stickers way back when I was a kid. We had stickers, but it was all free. But you just had to sign up, and you had to put the family name, but you had to on the pass just put all the family members on there.
And it was just a spreadsheet. It was just literally
It was a
checked off.
spreadsheet.
That's
You
what we
just
did.
checked it off.
I mean, that's fine. Like if you
Yeah.
guys think that's the easiest way to do it, like that's completely fine.
But I'm curious, why would we be having car stickers along with passes?
I don't think you would have I don't think you'd have like the family passes and the car stickers. I feel like the car sticker would be the family pass, and then people who would come up would be like, okay, I want a day pass. They give the gatekeeper how many. But the thing is like I'm thinking about it the same way because as archaic as it sounds, the dump has a good system, right? Like you get in with your car at the dump with the sticker.
The only problem is that you have 15-year-olds at the gate doing that, and they have to go out and check each car as they come in. So they have to be out. You'd have to have them like at the entrance
Yeah.
Right. Or that
before,
line's gonna
like,
be
so it wouldn't
stopped.
be at the gate. It would be at the entrance, and that for me, 15-year-olds and dealing with it before, that's a safety issue. Like they're going to be greeting people and saying, okay, do you have that? And like that removes them from a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Like, or when people come to the park,
Right.
that means that the gatekeeper has to go out and check.
I'm thinking like if
Right,
a grandparent
it's
has to
gonna be
pass,
traffic
like I can
issues
use
too.
pass back.
Yeah.
Something that's not
Cool.
just on
But
the
the thing about it is the family passes. I mean, in the past, we've only sold 100, 120 passes.
Yeah.
It's the day passes that make us the money. No matter how many family passes we've made, it's always been the day pass that makes us. It's the bulk of the income.
Not unless you're a good salesman, and
Well,
and so you have a beach director who goes on. Oh, I see that you. This is the second day in
Yeah.
a row,
Yeah.
and there's 5 of you.
yeah.
Let me sell you.
Yeah,
you know,
and I could probably pull the numbers of how many family passes I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have it probably in my file somewhere,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that many.
Weren't those day passes only like
$5 a
day?
person.
Yeah.
So if you're not,
Just $5 a person.
people will just pay $5, and that was it.
If we had some of that money that we said like we could put on a little kickoff, like even if it's
Oh, yeah.
over at like April vacation, like get your pass now.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like we have
Yeah.
money in the Cove expenses. We have, let me see, where's the line? I lost the line here. Where is it? Right there.
Yeah.
We have almost $8,000 in Cove expenses, and then I have to figure out what we spent on the special events. But we have, as of right now, we have almost $800 in special events. Like I mean that, like we could absolutely use it for that.
We could advertise a little bit.
Yeah, I think going on Facebook and advertising and having like the school send out something with the PTO would be like, that would be probably the most advertising that we
and
need.
with the links, though, I think it's important for you guys to have the links of where to sign up for, like have the application link, because you guys can do it. Dory can do it on that sidebar, but you can't embed it into like a whoever's in charge of.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Yeah.
do like a QR code too. Like
Right.
you could just have a
Yeah.
QR
Yeah.
code, and snap it, and
And
then
snap
it's,
it.
you know, buy your
Something like
passes
that.
here with the QR code, and snap
And
it.
make it super simple,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they immediately link it. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a huge sell.
Yeah, I just think that we need to, you know, if we want to do the old method of doing the family passes, that's fine, but we just need to kind of come up with a system because essentially everybody who did that in the past is, I don't know, Jen, have you done that before, the Cove passes?
No,
No?
no, I never did.
Okay.
So it's I would love it if there was a hotspot down it, and I don't know where it's been in the last 3 years. If there was just an iPad or a tablet that the kids could have, part of the problem with the day passes was that a 15-year-old is filling out, and again, maybe things have changed over the last few years. We had to do things in triplicate, old school receipts.
Yeah.
And if they made a mistake, kids being kids would cross it off or rip it up or do things like that. And I just sort of wish if we had an electronic receipt.
That's kind of what I'm trying to avoid is just like the
21st century.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again,
Yeah, the
because
thermal
it's much
paper,
easier
yeah.
to fix, right? The electronic one, like that was a big problem. And again, there might have been 15 or 20 of them all season, but they were not non-sequential and blah blah blah. And you had to go up to the town hall and photocopy. If you had 50 receipts for the day, you had to go up and photocopy those 50 receipts on a machine.
We can talk to the town
Yeah.
not the town accountant, the town treasurer, and see if we can do like a
yeah.
square, like the square system,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like we can have like, I don't know if that's something that we could do, but that'd be easy because I mean, even with the square system, you could still take cash.
Who is the town treasurer now?
There's a couple of them.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's,
it's
no
not just
longer-
one. No, I think it is still that particular person. But yes.
We fought.
I like
in the
how
past.
I knew exactly who you were talking about. Yeah.
I was trying, I'm just like, again,
I know.
the rest of the world, everybody,
Yes.
whether they realize it or not, are paying a little fee for every time they swipe something, whether they're explicitly told or it's in the fine print.
Yeah.
But
It's a
that,
battle.
that's
It's been a battle.
I know it's a battle. So I do know that's a battle.
Yeah.
If not, I just think that the backup system of having some sort of an iPad or tablet where they can just to say, okay, there's a mistake because, I just, again, know that complication was a pain up at the town hall.
Yeah, I think we can probably get over that
Okay.
hurdle.
So I'm going to leave you on this note and go home and have dinner. I will be the beach director. I will apply for the beach director. I don't care what I get paid. I just want this program up and running. So when the time comes, I will apply. If there's some other human being that really wants it and I can train them or help train them, I will gladly do that.
You can
Thank
do
you,
check
Margaret.
grade.
Yeah,
Margaret, seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
that's
I
right.
literally, this is obviously this has been my mission, and I'm like it hurts me a lot that we don't have any lessons down there. So it really, for me, it's not about the hourly rate, but eventually we need to get it. If we can get it up and running, you can get somebody who's going to be a teacher who's going to do it for the summers, and that can be a good thing. You can get PE teachers, and you get early childhood people. There's people that will do it. Like it's just. We just have to raise the bar again and get it back and going. So I will gladly hop in and train or do whatever, but
You don't happen to have 9 more people in your pocket, do you?
I have connections because I'm on a swim team and I have the lifeguard the trainer guy who's my assistant. So I have all these resources, and he did come in, I sent 2 kids to him last year,
Nice.
and I had people who are already certified.
So have these positions been posted?
No, we have to
Last
vote on
time?
that. But you said you wanted to update the job description, correct?
Yeah.
Or on the beach director position. I mean, we can.
No, we don't have to, especially if you're going to increase the pay. But I'm thinking I was thinking like $17 an hour on cleaning a bathroom and scheduling all your lifeguards and all your.
I mean,
I think
so
that was
I'd
more
rather
of a
sit at the
gatekeeper
gatekeeper.
job.
Yeah.
so I think
That's what I
that
was thinking,
Yeah.
like changing traffic, cleaning the bathrooms. You can essentially be a beach director and do a lot of work from home, I would assume, because you're doing all your scheduling.
Well, so I again, unless things have changed, so when I had to do the payroll, I had to be on town property to input, like when I wanted to do all of that I had to be on town property. So, and that at one point I wasn't allowed in here with a certain person who had the technology. We had to rent a laptop from the school to get me, so I could do it up at the town hall or out there. So this,
Yeah.
What?
I didn't.
oh yeah,
I've never
it was,
heard.
it was
That
ugly.
comes under wow.
Yeah,
So, I mean, so-
I legitimately, I was, and then, so some of it can be, like, the scheduling part can be done at home.
I think the only issue was like because we were taking cash, so the cash box
Yeah.
had to stay, locked
Yeah,
up,
locked
and that
up,
was. I
and-
think the beach director had to take responsibility of that at the end of the
But
day.
I wasn't, like, obviously, the cove was not, like, have you ever been inside that office? You can't type in there.
Yeah.
And then I had to be out here, so I'm assuming that's
So-
a little more woman friendly.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so I
that's
mean,
a possibility.
I don't know. Anybody here can correct me if I'm wrong, but like the people who are down at the Cove, including the beach director and all, would just put the same process for hours that all the other caretakers do. It would just be a different line for them, and then Dory would, put in for that pay if they got there, kind of go that because I mean Dory, she's the administrative assistant and she's also technically the rec director as well. So she would do. I mean,
Yeah.
But I think the beach
So-
director would have to approve any time, right? I mean, I think that was.
yeah, I mean the beach director could say, yeah, I put
Schedule,
this lifeguard on here for that many hours, and
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
go through the same process of doing it that
So
way.
I did that before.
Yeah, you just wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be responsible for pay. You just kind of go through and be
Yeah.
like, "Yep, this looks right," and
Yeah.
then
Because
Dory
it's
But
would
I'm
Dory.
telling you that I did
Yeah.
that before.
Oh, okay.
I was in charge of pay. I had to submit
Yeah.
everything to
I don't
somebody
think-
down at
No.
town hall.
I don't think you have to do that anymore. So
Okay.
that's something that Dory would do because I mean, technically, it's. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, they're a lifeguard, yes, but
Yeah, the kid,
they're.
they would they just had a sign in. I had to sign in every day
Yeah.
when they did the shift if they're absent, whatever.
Yeah,
So you
essentially the same thing.
So
that would be ideal.
Problem
But,
is cash, no? I was an athletic for
Yeah.
last 10 years.
Yeah.
Problem is always cash.
cash.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
With a designated person.
yeah. Well, that's kind of.
if Dory's in charge of that, that makes
They
it
get
much
all the
easier.
cash, they deal with it.
Yeah, and I mean that brings up another good point too. Is I'm not saying that I'm not going to trust the gatekeepers that are down there, but we need some way of tracking that. Those.
So there's a sign-in sheet, and they just literally write in every single.
So every time somebody comes
Every
up and
time.
gives them cash, they just sign it up. So what happens if they just don't sign them up?
So that's the whole point. That's why the beach director does a lot more than
Yeah.
you think, because you have a 15-year-old at the gatekeeper
Yeah.
whose math skills could be at, I'm going to be honest, at 6th grade,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then they get embarrassed if they make a mistake or whatever else. And I'm a high school teacher here. That's like requires training and like you have to sit there and train them for the first 2 weeks and how to do all of that.
Yeah.
And then the tracking methods, and then every receipt had to match up. So at the end of the day, they had to tally. So you had $40 in the cash bucket to start, and then the kids had to write down everything, and everything had to match. They had to do that math,
Yes.
and then the director checked to make sure.
So like this was kind of the idea that I was thinking of last time we did this is like wristbands, right? Like the colored wristbands, like you would have at like a 10-day rotation, right? Each of them have a number on it, starting from 1 to 20. And then you'd see people out there that don't have wristbands on, so that person like I don't know. I feel like you can go off and somebody would give you $5, you'd be like, okay, go ahead, and there's not
I
keep
think
track
that
of it, right?
wristbands are
Yeah.
a great idea. So
Yeah.
that is a perfect way.
Even for like
track.
family passes too,
Yeah.
like they come in, you give them a wristband just because they're there and you track them as having
Right, you put
kind
the
of
dates
some
on
way.
it. Yeah,
I mean,
that's how we
it's
do
not
it for the big family events.
it's not like I mean it's a big deal that somebody would, but it's not like a big deal for somebody not to pay to go. It's like $5, but it's still
Right.
the principle of it, right? So I mean,
Yeah, no, the wristbands are easy fix.
Yeah.
So and low
Okay.
cost. So
okay. How much do you think the swim lessons would be? Do
um,
you have any idea?
let me get my. So I think the numbers that I had were wrong, and they're lower than I think the price that was the current one, but they so the rates. So I think it was parent, like if you did just the parent child swim lessons, 10 families per session equals $500, and I estimated that was to be ended up being about
10 families, so $50 a session is what they would
Yeah.
they pay.
Yep.
Okay. Is that comparable like the Y, or is the Y more
that's
expensive?
about the Y. The
Okay.
Kingsbury Club is a little bit higher than that.
Okay.
And then I was estimating that between 9,000 and 12,000 could be potential revenue for the lessons.
Okay.
So.
Is it were to be per kid or to be per kid and
So
adult?
the old one was there were rates for like if first child, second, third child, different
Okay.
rates, and so I sort of
Okay,
blended.
so it was like 50 for the first,
Yeah,
40
so
for
I
the second.
blended, and then the last child, if you have 4 kids, there was no.
Your
Yeah,
life,
you have
is
4
hard.
kids.
Your life is hard enough as it is. You can have this one for free.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't need that.
Yeah, so that was what was up on the website, but I think we had found one document that was a little bit different afterwards, like the rate was different.
Okay.
So this might have been from like 2018 or something like that.
Okay.
Or maybe the year before that. So when was the last time we did lessons? So like 2019 or was it 18? So like,
Yeah, I don't remember.
yeah, so maybe 2017, 18-ish is what these were based
Okay.
on, but I feel like there was a different document that we found.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
remember us finding, but that's lowballing it. I think there was a little price increase and
I think lowballing is probably the best way to go. Honestly, to be honest with you, because I mean, like if the YMCA is like $65 a kid,
Right.
and we're doing it for 50,
right,
right? I mean, we're not doing it to make money. We're just doing it to kind of be stable
Right.
and where we are. So, if
and
we
that's
can-
just the preschool lessons, and then the
Yeah.
other ones it was like 110 for the first kid, so you had 5 days a week for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that was 110, then I think it was 80 something, and then 50, 65 or something, like, it was a tiered thing.
Okay.
So, and then that was just me estimating like.
Okay. Okay. So I get. Does anybody have any more discussion? You guys have anything else for this? No.
I guess what next steps would be, I guess.
So. Yeah. So what? I mean, we could vote on the price of the swim lessons. We can vote on when the swim lessons will take place. We can vote on the hours for open swim.
Why don't
We can. So what? Another thing we can do. We can rework this with the actual numbers here. With the $50 per swim lesson, kind of have this whole sheet reworked, and we can vote on it next time we're here. And then, but we should absolutely vote on putting those job descriptions out so we can start getting applications. Like I think that's like, that should be the first one, yeah. But then next meeting we can come through because I mean this is all like, this is like how it will be anyway. If we have no applications, we have no applications.
So I think I shared that document with you, but I think we
No,
found.
no, I don't think I have it. Will you just share it with me
Yeah, I'll
again?
reshare it because
I could. And then
Yeah. That has all the numbers and the rates, like.
No,
Okay.
we were talking about it.
Yeah, I
just
think
took it from the current, whatever was up on the website, but I don't think that was the actual last.
So just real
Okay.
quick, you said like first child would be like 50, second
No.
child might be like.
No, so on if the parent-child swim lesson, like the preschooler stuff, that's usually like Tuesday, Thursday, and that's what it was. It was $50 for the lesson. For the Monday through Friday lessons, that's the preschool and up to level 6 that would be Monday through Friday for 2 weeks, half an hour. And again, that equates to what the Y is currently doing.
Okay.
It's very close in price. That is like the first kid would be 110, second kid was like somewhere, I feel like it was 65, and the third was 50. But I have it somewhere.
so.
That's a tiered one.
So I think what we should do is we should take a vote, and this is my opinion. If anybody disagrees, just let me know. I think what we should do is we should make a vote to post a job description for one beach director, the gatekeeper, water safety instructor, and the lifeguards. Next meeting we come here, if you want to work with Margaret to get the prices structure of the swim lessons and the time and everything, and like rework these numbers, we'll vote on that next time. And kind of go from there. I mean, we really don't have to vote on anything other than the swim lessons and like when it will happen because the wages are set anyway.
And they usually start the week after July 4th. So I think we said like July
Okay.
11th.
So it's not all summer. It's just for
It's July, it's 6 weeks, so it's 3 2-week sessions.
Okay.
And so it ends up being like July 11th through like the second to last week in August, and then the college kids start to go away.
Okay.
Can we put a calendar together for the next meeting too? Like with the sessions and how they're gonna run like the
Yeah,
program?
and does the Cove open? Because I haven't been here in the past. Does it open at a certain date and close
The
at a
last
certain
day of school.
No, the week.
the last week of school.
The
We
whack-
opened it last
yeah,
year.
when school ends, I think
It's
whenever
last-
it
It
ends,
opens
and then
It's a half day
that
and
Saturday.
then Labor Day.
It opens the Saturday
Yeah.
after school ends.
Yeah.
No, never. It's always opened up the day.
Yeah, the
No.
day
We already-
the day
yeah,
of
but
we did this
already
year.
voted on that.
Oh, did you vote
Didn't we?
postpone?
I don't think we
Yeah,
voted on
we did. Yes, we did.
On vote
Yeah.
opening the Cove
Yeah.
for next year.
Yeah, on the dates. We did.
Oh.
Because I remember trying to find out when the last
Roll
day of
across
school was.
now.
So it's always
Um,
been the last day, because the last day is a half a day, and then the Cove opens for the second half.
Okay.
And that's been like the
Okay.
kickoff.
I'll
Unless that changes.
Well,
No,
maybe
that's-
because it was the
It
COVID
was the
and,
COVID.
and we didn't. It
Yeah.
wasn't a formal
Yeah.
thing, so we just opened it.
Okay, so we can. I'll check with Dory to make sure we voted on that. I can look back in the minutes to see when we voted on that, and just check the date. If it's not that, then we can bring it back up for discussion and we vote to open it at another time. But right now, is there any more discussion about this? I'll go to the motion to post the job descriptions. No? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to post the job descriptions to potentially hire somebody for the beach director, the gatekeeper, the water safety instructor, and the lifeguards. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion
Motion
by
to
Melissa.
post,
Do I have a
please.
second?
Second.
Second by Sheila. Okay, all those in favor, Frank's and I, Melissa.
Aye.
Sheila.
Aye.
Caroline.
Aye.
Awesome. Okay. So next meeting, we'll just rerun the numbers with the higher pay rates, and then we'll come up with a structure for the swim lessons, and what we're going to charge for them, and then we'll go from there.
I have a skeleton of that already.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we'll also be posting the job descriptions as well. So,
That was our last meeting.
Awesome.
was there a last meeting
Yeah.
for the Cove
Oh, no.
opening?
No.
Oh,
That was
okay.
on something different.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Old business.
You gotta write it down.
Old business. Trying to think about what old business would we have. Okay. Yeah, we can kind of go off of something for that. So for old business, I will just go through and say that we submitted the part B of the CPC funds for the landscaping, and we're waiting on quotes from an RFP for the playground down there before we submit the RFP for the playground down at the Cove. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's really anything else under old business. Does anybody have anything you want to put into there? No? Nothing? All good?
I'm old.
The CBC signed off on the bills for
You said you're old?
the North End materials that I purchased. So
Okay.
when Dory
Awesome.
gets back this week, she'll be able to pay them.
Okay, awesome, yeah, awesome.
Actually,
That's good.
about
Sure.
the playground, you got some new equipment down there?
Yes.
I just gotta throw that, and I saw the thing, that you could take the old playground that's behind the corner store.
Thank you.
That's the floor. There's a couple reasons why we can't. So and I've explained this like every committee in town too. So the first thing is kind of the most obvious one is just the color scheme of it, right? It just doesn't fit with the camp down, like the Cove down there. The second one is that it's pretty badly degraded. Like it's not really that safe. The McQuan ones. I mean, I used to take my kids down there, but now we go to Andy and
It's
yeah.
down there.
It's rusty, and then also in order to get that actually up and transplant it would be a pretty sizable effort because you have to go down into essentially the concrete, or if it's because they concrete the basin, take the concrete out, bring the pillars, and drop it over there. And with all of those, you probably wouldn't be able to get too much time out of it. So.
And then hope it all matches up when
And
you
then
get
hope,
there.
yeah, and then we'd have to spray
Yeah.
paint it, and that'd be very expensive. So, a new playground is anywhere from like $50,000 to like $75,000 for something that we would want, and we're using the community preservation funds for it, which is like right in line with what the community preservation's for, is like open recreation in the Cove down there. So, yes, that's why we don't use, because we've thought about that, and Jen brought it up before, and a lot of other people brought it up before. So,
Another thing with that playground, I was told, was it was cemented in, and then it was a second cement in because of some errors that were done. So there's twice the cement that should be on it.
I worked on that.
Oh, okay. So you would be able to tell whether that was the.
There's some cement up there.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of cement up there, I'm sure. Yeah. Just by the time that it would take and the effort to take to transplant that over, yeah, it'd be insane. That brings me to the other point too. Roger brought up last meeting that he wanted to bring the burning bush and the partridge and the pear tree over. The partridge and the pear tree got approved by the Board of Selectmen. The burning bush did not. So they because the burning bush is actually an invasive species. So
You can't get them anymore.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
no, they're not native to Massachusetts apparently. So they want to burn with McQuan. So
Okay. We're very passionate.
Yeah.
Hanson.
but the pear tree will be here at some point.
Does it still smell like Play-Doh though?
The pear tree?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't go around. I don't go around sniffing trees. Not anymore. That used to be a past hobby.
I
of
know
mine.
what those old times.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Team reports. Do we have anything for the team reports? No. Okay. Swell. Departmental update.
It's 1970.
Yeah, well, you know, it's not gonna- so Dory's not here for departmental update. So we're gonna go through that. We'll skip over that. Correspondence. Anybody have a letter? No. Okay, so we'll go caretaker report. Guys have anything?
Nope.
No. All good. Roger.
I've been following the movie people, and maybe I should have gone into old business. I've been following them. They were here with 30 supervisors and bigwigs.
30.
There was 30 of them here, and they were hashing out how they were going to do everything down there.
Yeah.
One person is the safety supervisor, and she is going to be a stickler on a lot of things, which is great.
Yeah. Stickler on them though, right? Not on us.
On them.
Okay, good.
How they're doing things. They've taken one camera from having a person behind it to a mechanical camera because they didn't want, during the times when they have fire, real fire in our building, they didn't want that person being pinned in there. God forbid something was to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So they are pinpointing everything they're doing under safety first before they actually do things. But they had a lot of people out here a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and they were going through a lot of things. The director, she was here from Los Angeles, a lot of people from different areas. So they're being very careful how they're doing it and going to take care of our building.
Nice.
One thing the selectmen were concerned with, along with conservation, was after they're done the cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
We're all involved in making sure they clean up before we sign off on it, giving them their money back for the deposit.
Yep.
As you can see in the kitchen, I'm working on some of the shutters. Slow process, but we're going to get it done. The ones that are in there now, and you're welcome to take a look at them, they're the ones that's going to go on the new building. And there are red ones out there. They are going on the north buildings. So the process has started. Just going to take all winter to do, and probably spring as well.
Okay. Cool. And that's the CPC. It's doing that.
CPC money, yes. I did go to that meeting, and they signed the bills. So when Dory's back, she'll be able to pay those.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Everything else is going good, and I will be watching over the Frontier during the whole process. Obviously, we'll be having them here as well because we have to have staff during that time.
Yep. Yeah, and they're paying for the staff too. So if you guys,
Yes.
if you guys want to work like any of those hours that are there, just sign up for it because I think that for a couple of days they're gonna need somebody here. I think 24/7, right? Or is it 24/7 or just
Anytime they want the lodge open, we have to have somebody here.
So like it's a good opportunity in the middle of the winter to get some get some money for it if you want to. So and it like I said, they pay for it, so it doesn't come out of our budget for it. So
coming out of our budget.
No.
yeah, no, they're paying us.
Will
They're
it
paying
come out
us.
of ours initially and they have to be replaced, or how does
That's
that
a
work?
good question. I think that is probably what's going to happen, but they're also paying us $50 an hour
Right.
for the caretakers to be there. So we can have, if we wanted to, we could have two people working there at the same time. So
There's a possibility that it's going to be 12 to 12, 12 noon to 12 midnight.
that's not bad.
Mm.
It's not bad. So
Yes.
yeah. I mean, you don't need to. They probably won't even want you over there when they're doing like the filming. Like it will
all
be.
those white chairs all unfolded, broken out and stuff
Yep.
like that, get them all clean, see what ones need to be.
Right.
Repair,
They-
you know.
That's gonna take time.
Right.
Basically, I'm working with these two here, having projects. She's going to be taking care of the chairs, the white chairs getting washed up, new
Nice.
pads on the bottom. I asked Jack about taking on the project of repainting all the benches outside.
Yep.
But in a better color than that ugly green.
Great.
Gray might not be a bad idea.
Told you.
No, gray might not be a bad
That
idea.
green is just.
Yeah, that green. Yeah, I've seen that
It's
green. It's,
soup.
yeah,
It's gross.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
not ideal. But
So those are
you
going
know,
to be great projects during
Yeah.
those hours.
oh, absolutely.
Obviously, I'm not going to have them guys working 12 midnight
Yeah.
doing those kind of projects, but reasonable times.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, if you one of you guys want to take a 12-hour shift for it, and you like have nothing to do that day for some whatever reason, come and do the project for 5-6 hours or something like that, and then the rest of the time you can just I mean, they're paying for it, right? So,
Right.
you know, if you want to stay busy, you can stay busy, but essentially we're just here supervising, just like an event, right? So,
Just basically babysitting the building.
babysitting the building, essentially. Yeah, I mean, it's just for insurance that they need to come. That we need to have somebody here when they come in. So, and you know, depending, you know, they might want to go later than 12 too. I would imagine they probably want to go later
The
than
lodge
12
is gonna
too.
be
So,
used for two purposes. One, to eat in. They're not gonna cook inside. They're gonna bring their own food truck
Yep.
with them and do all the cooking outside. And it's gonna be for warming as well.
Yep.
Keeping them warm.
and they cast me for a dead body in the side of the cabin. So I'm excited about that.
Great.
Yeah. That's good. I'm not getting paid for it, oddly enough. But anyway, so is you all good?
I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so next meeting date. I was just kidding. I didn't get cast as a dead body, by the way. Unfortunately, not yet. Not yet.
My daughter
It's
thinks she's
coming.
gonna go on a kayak across the river so she can get
Yeah.
They want snow.
Yeah.
Just don't let
Me
them die.
too.
Be those two people a couple years ago that got stuck up in the middle of the pond.
Mm,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
They were weren't they lighting fireworks
It's
off?
like New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
New
wasn't
Year's
it?
Eve, two
Yeah.
kids at a time.
Yeah.
No.
They weren't kids, they were
Mhm.
guys.
They got
Yeah.
stuck and they were screaming.
Mr. Lopez, do you have
People
anything?
couldn't hear 'em.
Do you have any? No. Good.
I'm good.
Okay. Cool.
Not like, just so you guys know, I live right there.
Oh.
Next door.
Awesome.
So you'll be
You'll be.
Spying on
we want
the
to see you
movie.
here more often, though. You gotta come
Yeah,
by
I'd
every
like
month.
to,
No, I like
join
to-
our
I-
commission.
I just want to see the place come back, like everybody in town.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a jewel of the town. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully with all the sickness is gone, hopefully it goes back to what it was.
Well, we are looking for more Camp Kiwanee Commission members. So we're looking. We have a 5-person committee. We only got 4 people here. So if you're interested, anywho, not going to put anybody else in the spot, but do we have a date that would work?
She's
Got
looking at her
quiet,
phone.
didn't it?
So the
I've done my time.
the 9th
Oh, yeah.
is Martin Luther King Day is the 16th.
Okay, so we can't do it that day. So the 9th.
The
probably?
9th, 23rd might be too late, especially since but maybe the 9th.
Let me just check to see because I think I might have a capital improvement meeting too. Yeah, I have capital improvement on the 9th. Do you guys have any downside of doing it on like a Wednesday? No. Can we do the 11th? January 11th.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, does it work? Okay.
Yeah.
Jan 11th. Does everybody not mind the 6 p.m. or they want it to go back to 6:30?
I like the 6 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So January 11th, 6 p.m. Okay. That being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Come on, Melissa, quickly.
Oh, sorry. Motion a second.
Motion made by Alyssa. Do I have a second? Melissa, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sheila. Okay, all those in favor, Frank's and I.
Aye.
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 Awesome. Thank you very much.
Roll.